Well, hey there, how's it going, all you beautiful fellas and ladies out there? Welcome back to one of the YouTube channels of all time. So for those of you that may be new around these here parts, way back in the day, like 1 year, 5 months, 18 days ago, or whatever, I made a little video for the first time ever called Ted Mosby is an Awful Person Part 1. And in that video, I said that it was originally supposed to be a 3-part series, so then a month later, I made Ted Mosby is an Awful Person Part 2, or TMIAAP for short. But then after that, I just got like really bored with the topic. There was just other stuff I wanted to cover at the time and more jokes that I wanted to make that weren't about old Teddy Westside here. And then as time passed and I got more comfortable and my channel evolved and my editing evolved and I got better at perfecting my craft. Oh, cut that. That was not good. The conclusion to the trilogy just seemed more and more like a faded dream. Until today, because we are back, motherfuckers! That's right, fellas, ladies, and non-binary ladies. We are back with a vengeance up in this busy, and we have got ourselves an amazing adventure today. Now, for the last 2 videos of this series, we have mainly focused on single episode events. But for this one, for the finale of this terrific trio of titillating tales, we are going to be spanning across the whole goddamn show. We are going to be trekking across this universe like the goddamn USS Enterprise. The starship, not the boat. There's also the Navy carrier called the USS Enterprise and Star Trek. And I don't know why am I explaining this. You get it. But anyways, we start our journey all the way back in season 1. Now in this season, Ted and Robin are still just platonic friends who went on one date in the first episode, and because of that, they're still looking for other people. So in episode 12 and 13, at the wedding of very minor characters, Claudia and Stuart, who are, by the way, like, oh my god, the worst fucking couple, holy shit. They are awful together. You don't even get the sense that they like each other, let alone love each other. In fact, they even break up in the same episode as their wedding over a tiny inconvenience that a fucking course Ted causes. So basically, Ted wants to bring Robin as a date to the wedding, but he RSVP'd that he was going to be coming alone, but he swears he didn't do that, but Claudia says he can't bring Robin. So he goes behind her back to Stuart, and Stuart says it's fine, and then they get in a big fight and break up, and then Ted and Marshall have to try to convince Stuart to get back with Claudia before Barney bangs her. They should not be together at all, is my point. They're one of those classic awful fucking couples that you wish to God would just break up, but for whatever reason they don't. So you have to take matters into your own hands and cut their brake lines, and then they get into a fiery accident. Is that just me, or is that a shared experience? But at the very end of this wedding episode, we are introduced to a brand new character by the name of Victoria. And when we meet Victoria initially, Ted and the audience don't even know her name. She's a complete stranger. But her and Ted decide to just kind of fuck off from the wedding and have their own little romantic adventure away from everybody else. And then they make the decision to not use real names so that they don't get attached and they can never see each other again. So that they won't have to deal with the day after, and then it can never end, and it can just be a perfect, isolated night. Even though, that's fucking stupid. What kind of logic is that? No matter what you do, there's gonna be a day after. That's how time works. All you're doing is cutting out the potential for continuation, and that's stupid. That's dumb. You are dumb, stupid people, you stupid pieces of shit. And while they're on their little caper, Robin, surprise, actually shows up to the wedding reception, even though she had to cancel earlier. And then she sees Ted and Victoria about to kiss, and then cries in the bathroom because, like, she's in love with Ted, and Ted is in love with her, but they both want different things, so they decide not to date. It's fucking dumb. I don't know, their story is really stupid. To be completely honest, I just kind of watch for Marshall and Lily. I really like them. And while she's in the bathroom, she actually meets Victoria, kind of. She like sees her feet, and she learns that she doesn't know either Stuart or Claudia, but she made the cake. And then Ted is like, I've got to see this girl again. Shocker. And then he goes to her bakery in the city and finds her, and then they kiss, and then they start dating and have a happily ever after. Unfucking till 3 goddamn episodes later, Victoria gets accepted at this culinary fellowship in Germany, and she accepts it and moves to Germany, which, on top of putting a strain on your already new relationship, I just realized she already owns her own business in New York City. How the fuck did she just pack up and move away for 2 years? Also, why would you do that? You already have your own successful baking business in, again, New York City. You're basically fucking rolling in it, no pun intended. Why exactly do you need to go to Germany to learn how to bake? I mean, don't get me wrong. Do what you feel like you gotta do. Like, if you think that that's gonna make you happy, then do it. Not to mention, stay away from Ted. The guy's like a sociopathic lunatic, and I wish he'd get trampled by horses, but I don't know. The logic just doesn't really make sense to me. Like, if I already had my own successful business, I'd say fuck off and lick a wiener schnitzel Crowdy's like a real American and not go. But maybe that's just me. And also, fuck Ted. Get away from him. You made a good decision. So anyway, Ted and Victoria come to the decision they can at least try long distance. But like long distance relationships often do, it put a huge strain on their relationship, especially with the, holy shit, 6-hour time difference? Fuck me, yeah, no wonder that shit wasn't working out. That's a really long time to just wait for a phone call. And you gotta remember, this was also 2006, so texting is like way different. It was mainly just used for quick little messages that you'd get like every couple of hours. You weren't just talking to each other back and forth on Facebook Messenger, sending each other memes and TikToks about the Unabomber. Totally different from today. I mean, it was almost 20 years ago. Oh my god, 2006 was almost 20 years ago. Holy shit. Fuck, I'm getting old. I'm only 25. My back shouldn't hurt this much. And then we skip ahead only 2 episodes later, and Ted is having a real hard time with this whole thing, and they can never seem to get their schedules to sync up. And to be honest, I kind of feel for the guy here. Like, it cannot be easy to keep this whole thing up, especially when you had reservations about it from the beginning. But then, of course, Ted completely obliterates any kind of sympathy you have for him and does a classic fucking Ted. So Ted, while waiting for Victoria, realizes, of course, that he's in love with Robin. I know, right? Big reveal.
No one saw that coming.
And against advice from literally everybody that he talks to, he goes over to her apartment at 2 a.m. just to hang out. Not good. Red flag. Bad vibes. Bad. No. God damn it. While he's over there, he, one, lies to Robin, tells her that he broke up with Victoria, kisses her, almost has sex with her, and cheats on his girlfriend all the way around the world. Like, Ted, dude, what the fuck, man? I mean, fuck you already because you're just like a shit human being, but seriously, what the hell is wrong with you?
Now entering Hot Take Corner.
When I was younger, when I was like 15 and watching this show, this was really where I started to like turn against Ted. He's no longer the everyman. He is no longer the audience surrogate doing this kind of shit. Even though it would still be a few years before this same shit happened to me and I got cheated on, like, it still made me really angry that the creators would try to make you root for this guy. Fuck Ted, fuck him, lick a dick and eat my shit, you scummy little fucking prick. And then in spectacular Ted fashion, while he's in Robin's bathroom trying to justify to himself why it would be okay, it all completely blows up in his face.
That's not your phone.
This isn't my phone.
Okay. Bye. I thought it was mine, so I answered it.
Was it?
It was your girlfriend. You might want to call her back.
Ooh, get fucked right in the eye, my guy. You deserve every bit of that. Suck it, Mosby. Man, every time Ted gets his very rare comeuppance, it is so satisfying. I also love the added embarrassment of him like failing to catch the phone. Sometimes I do love this show. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't last because only 4 episodes later, at the very end of the season, in one of the saddest episodes actually because of Marshall and Lily's breakup, Ted and Robin officially start dating. Fuck, man. I mean, I guess I'm happy for them or whatever, but why can this guy not have any long-term consequences? I mean, yeah, he didn't have sex with Robin, but he still made out with her and lied to her. And it's not like he decided he wasn't going to. If that phone call didn't happen, he definitely would have. Like, he didn't make the conscious decision to not cheat on Victoria. He just didn't because of circumstances. That's it. He spent like 30 minutes in the bathroom justifying to himself that it was okay because Victoria was somehow the bad guy for being in Germany. Like, dude, you agreed to this. You made the decision to try long distance, immediately regretted it, and then made a series of horrible decisions afterwards. At worst, you were intentionally malicious. At best, you were a complete idiot. So fast forward to season 3, and Ted and Robin have since broken up because they have very different goals in life, like was established in the very first episode. What a twist! And Ted is now dating a dermatologist that helped him remove his tramp stamp. And real quick, I want you to guess who her receptionist is. I'll give you some hints. Hint 1, Ted is toxic to her. When he forgets her name, he probably thinks, oops, I did it again. Baby one more time. Yep, you guessed right, I hope, because it's
Britney, bitch.
But anyways, Ted and Stella have this whole half-season long relationship, and Ted decides he's gonna marry her. After a near-death experience that's not even near-death, and without even really thinking about it, he just proposes. And while they're engaged, they even both realize, like, well, I don't really know anything about this other person. And they realize this after Ted does a classic and almost kills her by feeding her food laced with peanuts, which she's deathly allergic to, and he didn't even know that. Despite this, however, Ted and Stella almost get married right up until the actual wedding, until Stella gets mad at Ted for inviting Robin, of course. She runs off with her ex-boyfriend and baby daddy and leaves Ted at the altar. And honestly, even though Ted is like a deranged sociopath, you do kind of gotta feel bad for him here. I've never been left at the altar before, but I have had to break off an engagement, and it fucking sucks. When it happened to me, I was at one of the lowest points in my life, and every day after after for like a year felt like just a chore to even exist. I was just so like sad and angry and hopeless just constantly. Like I can't stress enough how much I feel for Ted here. Like I understand how such of a raw depression it is and how shitty he must feel after this. However, in the same season, Ted and Robin become roommates and start banging each other casually with huge air quotes. And then Ted breaks it off when he realizes that Barney has feelings for Robin. And he once again proves to Victoria and now Stella that they were right. He just cannot stay friends with Robin. His relationship with her cannot stay platonic. And do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying that men and women in general cannot be platonic friends. My best friend in the whole world is a woman. Hi, Courtney. But Ted and Robin specifically cannot do it. They just cannot keep their hands off each other, which is even more proven later when Victoria shows back up in the picture. In season 7, Ted randomly meets Victoria again. God damn it. And he offers to clean the dishes at her bakery to make up for cheating on her. What? And she accepts. What? And even though she tells Ted that she's engaged, they fucking get their smooch on. God damn it, dude. And then when she stops, she's like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm engaged to a guy I met in Germany. His name is Klaus. And Ted recognizes that name as a guy that Victoria talked about when they were together and she was in Germany. And he asks her how long she waited before she started dating Klaus. And she says,
Day and a half.
and then Ted gets mad at her. He gets mad at her for feeling bad that he cheated on her and says that she basically did the same thing. No, dude, not even close. I'll admit that what she did is not good, and she was most likely, emotionally at least, cheating on Ted while they were apart, or maybe just catching feelings for somebody else. But Ted, you were learning the wrong lesson here. You were both bad. You both did shitty things, and yours was arguably worse because you emotionally and physically cheated on your partner, you shitbag. But anyways, Victoria tells Ted the complete truth, which is that all his relationships will fail because he just cannot stay away from Robin. And then Ted and Victoria go their separate ways. Again, until Ted calls Victoria and tells him to meet with her because, like, I don't know, Robin tells him to because she tells him, like, it's been 8 months. It could be anything could have happened. You don't know. And when Victoria shows up, she's in a wedding dress. Turns out she ran away from her wedding and wants to get back with Ted and leave Klaus in the dust. And then aggravatingly, after some back and forth of like Ted committing to the plan, then ditching the plan, then committing to the plan, then ditching the plan, and then reading a note that Klaus left and meeting him at a train station. I don't know, he's like, oh, it's all okay because he doesn't want to marry Victoria either, which I know that the showrunners only did this so that they would make Ted look like not a horrible person again. But that doesn't work when you think about that Ted is doing the exact same thing that Stella and her ex-boyfriend did to him because he's a hypocritical jackass. And then him and Victoria get back together for only 5 months until he decides that he's gonna propose to her. Oh my god. And then he does, but there's only one hitch. Victoria wants Ted to completely stop being friends with Robin, otherwise she'll always worry about her, so she gives him an ultimatum. It's either her or Robin. And under normal circumstances, I feel like this would be an outrageous ask. Just as a general rule, if your partner ever gives you an ultimatum to completely ditch anybody in your life in favor of them, you should run for the fucking hills. That is a scarlet flag. But in this specific scenario, even though I overall disagree with the ask, like, I get it. Ted has proven time and time again that he will fuck over any and everybody in any scenario that Robin is involved. Despite what he's repeatedly said throughout the show, all evidence shows that he will forever be in love with Robin. And if you somehow don't believe me, let's do a little recap, shall we? Ted dates Robin in the first episode. Doesn't work out. Ted dates Victoria. Victoria goes to Germany. Ted cheats on Victoria with Robin. Ted breaks up with Victoria. Ted dates Robin again. They break up. Ted dates Stella and she leaves him at the altar for her ex-boyfriend and baby daddy. Robin moves in with Ted and becomes his roommate. They start thugging. Years later, Ted finds Victoria again, and she says she's about to be engaged to a guy that she met in Germany, Klaus, and then her and Ted kiss. Victoria says she waited a day and a half before dating Klaus. Ted gets mad at Victoria for him feeling bad about cheating on her, which he really didn't, which is a straight up lie. They go their separate ways, and Victoria says they can't be together because of his attempted platonic, air quotes, relationship with Robin is weird. Ted tells Robin he loves her, confirming what Victoria said. Robin says she doesn't love Ted and moves out. Robin later on convinces Ted to call Victoria because it's been 8 months. Victoria shows up at the bar in a wedding dress to meet Ted. Victoria wants to abandon her wedding. Ted finds Klaus also ditching the wedding. Victoria and Ted get back together. Klaus moves in with Ted because he lost his job and got evicted, which, by the way, oh my god, bad decision. 5 months in, Victoria drops hits at Ted about getting married. Ted proposes to Victoria. Victoria says Ted can't be friends with Robin. And then after all that, Ted breaks up with Victoria because he just cannot picture his life without Robin in it. And almost as if to put the nail in the coffin once and for all, at the very end, end of the entire show, after the titular mother has been dead for a while, Ted gets back together with Robin one final time, and the show completely ends. And that, fellas, ladies, and non-binary ladies, is why Theodore Evelyn Mosby of the hit show How I Met Your Mother is a horrible, disgusting, hypocritical, selfish, rotten, awful person. Part 3. So finally, guys, we complete the trilogy and close this chapter once and for all. Honestly, I never thought that I would make this video, but I'm pretty glad that I did so that I can finally put it to rest, and I really hope that you guys liked it. And obviously, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's really good despite how horrible the main character is. So like I said earlier, and I'm guessing a lot of other people, don't really watch it for him. We watch it for like pretty much anybody else. Marshall and Lily are great. Robin is awesome. Barney is... well, actually, he sucks. He's really gross, but he's got a gem or two in there. But anyways, please like and subscribe and comment and all that jazz because it just really helps me out. And as always, that's probably going to be it for today, fellas and ladies. I hope I made you laugh. I hope I made you smile, and I will see you when I do this again. Bye.